Oh yeah, man. Street dances all over the world. Yeah, yeah. You know what you gotta do. Word. Yeah. Yeah, let's go, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, come on. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The turntable spins using new ability, agility that wins. And then your crew got burned. To be the master of the craft, you gotta practice to learn, kid. The street dancer breaks with 1990s and the 80s paved the way for the days. B-boys emulating the greats like Forty Freeze, crazy legs, dynamic breakers with shake. Let's dance to the beat of the drummer that's funky. Way before the beats was bugging on Brass Monkey. Hip hop, new cruises, Foxy Enchilada. In the boxy DJing was Africa Bambaataa. Brought back to the Bronx, Kool Herc the innovator. DJing sound systems, toasting in Jamaica. Got boasting, the host with the most, the money maker. Now I'm moving bricks, but I started out as a breaker. The turntable spins, brothers cautious, listening to Bob James Nautilus, and of course James Brown, funky drummer the sound in the summer, before you saw the hustler in the Hummer. Yeah, and a few years later Melly Mel changed up his gear and switched the game up. The gangs of New York ceased banging for beat, once the whole 5 girls break dancing up in the street. Yeah, the turntable spins, the DJ and MC coincide like twins. The crowd grins cause they know what they came to hear. It's important what you wear, uniform in the fresh gear. Hip hop was visible and heard by many. A backdrop or a mural in the park with graffiti. Dancers, rappers, original, not phony men. Windbreaker jackets, knee pads on linoleum.
Dance, make it move, keep it poppin', keep it locked down. And first position when they move, DJ spin it round. And it's your time, time to shine. All the eyes on you. See dance all over the world.
Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor.
Make it move, keep it poppin', keep it locked down. And first position when they move, DJ spin it round. And it's your time, time to shine. All the eyes on you. See dance all over the world.
There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz .jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to JobsToMake.com's Marketing Me live at Arellano University, Legarda. So this is a webinar about responsible netizenship. So this event is in coordination with Arellano University, Legarda's Central Guidance Office with the objective of helping students become more responsible members of the online world. So today we'll be joined by speakers from Inspiro and Stellar. But before we start, may we invite everybody for a short prayer followed by the school hymn.
Lead me, Lord, lead me by the hand and help me face the rising sun. Comfort me through all the pain that life may bring. There's no other hope that I can lean upon. Lead me, Lord, lead me all my life. Walk by me across the lonely roads that I may face. Take my arms and let your hand show me the way. Show the way to live inside your heart all my days, all my life. You are my light, you're the lamp upon my feet. All the time, my Lord, I need you there. You are my light, I cannot live alone. Let me stay by your guiding love all through my life. You are my light, you're the lamp upon my feet. All the time, my Lord, I need you there. I just cannot live alone. Let me stay by your guiding love all through my life, all through my days. So lead me, oh Lord.
Okay, so welcome everybody. Ready na ba kayo? I'm Shari from Academic Linkages. Hope that everybody is excited to learn new things. So I am seeing your comments, guys. So we can all see your comments. So please refrain from spamming and using inappropriate language in your comments. This is a space for learning and respect. So let's keep everything in check before we comment. Okay, so please put in your name and strand. And later, if you have questions, you can comment that later. Habang nag-start tayo ng seminar natin. Alright, so before we start, may we please ask for Mr. Daniel John Carriazo, High School Principal of Arellano University, Ligarda, for the opening remarks.
To our beloved Assistant Vice President for One Sumulong Campus, Mrs. Grace V. Caico, our supportive Supervising Guidance Counselor, Ms. Donna Rose Matubang, our diligent Senior High School Guidance Counselors, Ms. Nika and Ms. Rodea, our partner for today's webinar, Jobs180.com, together with the Central Guidance Office who made this program possible, and of course, our hardworking advisors, teachers and students, good morning. Nowadays, social media and internet play an important role in education and communication, most especially in this new normal setting. This COVID-19 pandemic made us limit our movements, gatherings, and even the usual classroom setting, which is face-to-face setup in schools and universities. But with the use of social media, online educational platforms, and internet, we cope up and continue our schooling using the new trends in online education today. As a student and youth in our society, always remember that we have to be responsible in using the social media and the internet. Why is it important to be a responsible netizen? That is because that everything that we post or do online will stay online forever. There can be threats that can put you in danger if you will not be responsible enough in using online media platforms. Being a responsible netizen is a must. Like what GMA 7 says in their programs, we have to think before we click. So the question is, how can you be a responsible netizen today? Bear your mind the word think, T-H-I-N-K. The acronym THINK stands for letter T, is it true? Always observe and think if the information that you've seen in social media is true or not. This will help you to be responsible in gathering the right information and true information. Now that fake news is rampant in social media today, fact-checking is very important. For letter H, is it helpful? Think and visualize the information if it is helpful for you. This will help you to be responsible in deciding if you really need the information. For letter I, is it informative? Always think if the information is informative or just a nonsense thing. This will help you to use to gather reliable information and not just for entertainment and nonsense things. For letter N, is it necessary? Think if the information is really necessary for you. Always think if you really needed the information before using it or gathering the information. And for letter K, is it kind? Always think if the person or the information is kind. And by the word kind, it means always think if the information or the person you're interacting with will not harm you or not going to be harmful for you. These tips will surely help each and every one of us to be a responsible netizen. There's nothing wrong if you think first, as long as you know that you will not harm other people. Just always remember to keep calm and think before you click. Once again, I would like to thank the Central Guidance Office together with our partner for today, Jobs180.com, for conducting a webinar like this. To our students, please listen carefully to our speaker for today and apply all the learnings in your real life. Thank you everyone and God bless us all. Stay safe, Chips.
Yeah, and so thank you for that, sir. You're excited to start our activities for this morning. So this project is launched to help people learn about responsible social media use, online etiquette, and the importance of disconnecting. So students, are you ready? Here is our schedule. So for our first topic, we will be discussing disconnecting to connect. That will be discussed by Inspiro Relaya. And for our second topic, we will be discussing online etiquette, which will be discussed by a representative from Stellar Philippines. Okay, so let's introduce our first speaker. So our first speaker is Sir Jeffrey Asirot. So he is the supervisor for candidate engagement for Inspiro. He graduated from Central Luzon State University with a degree of Bachelor in Science in Business Administration, major in Human Resources and Development Management. His desire to be a part of a diverse and well-known organization motivates him to be a part of the BPO industry. So his tenure of 5 years in human resource encourages him to step up and leads him to be a candidate engagement supervisor overseeing Pasig. So Sir Jeff, if you're there, please join our stream.
Hi everyone, good morning. So this is Jeff from Inspiro. Hi.
Morning, sir. Ayan, sir. Sir, these students, they are from Arellano University, Legarda, senior high school, and I'm seeing a lot of people from STEM, ADM, we have people from humanities, ICT, so more or less, sir, yun po yung mix na audience natin this morning. So, sir, you know the drill. You have 20 minutes to present, and after that, we will do the question and answer. So, can you start sharing your screen, sir?
All right.
And ayan, sir, I can see it. So, you're live, sir. The floor is yours. I'll be back, sir, in 20 minutes. Thank you, Sir Jeff.
Thank you. Hi guys. So good morning. This is Jeffrey from Inspiro. Good morning to our students from Arellano University. So basically, I'll be discussing you guys the disconnect to connect on how to become a responsible netizenship. So first, guys, have you been into a situation in which you felt lonely, like no one cares about for all the things that happens to your life? Or some of you already experienced failing on their grades, broke up with their girlfriends or boyfriends, or problems on their subjects, and facing family matters and don't know what to do about it. And then pandemic happened. So some feels annoyed or stressed and depressed at the same time. So these situations really affect one's physical, emotional, and mental health. And this is where actually social media enters. So through social media, we're able to express ourselves through postings, posting our own feelings or what we feel on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and other social media platforms. So just to gain sympathy from other people. So in these ways, at least it eases on what we feel and counts us all these situations. So as being said, there are also importance disadvantages of social media and why do we need to disconnect ourselves in social media. All right. So what are the importance of social media? First, it serves as an instant online discussion. So basically, since we are in pandemic, we serve social media as a medium of or a platform in interacting with other people, communicating with other communities, like online classes and trainings and seminars, and also making friends with other people. Also, one the other thing is through communications and relationships. Social media, it is easier for us to communicate with other people, with our friends or loved ones that is in different places. So we are able to communicate with them, and at least tightens the relationship with our family members and friends. Next one is explore. So some of us is not using social media just to entertain ourselves, but also explore and discover different great things that they are very interested with. Uh, like if they are very interested into a certain topic, they are using social media to search for it. Also, most important is opportunity. So actually, many of us is taking the advantage of the use of social media, specifically when they are looking for a job, because even not pandemic is not did not happen. Most of the companies uses social media in posting their job vacancies and also in branding and promoting their companies like Jobs 180 in Facebook and Inspiro Philippines Facebook page for Inspiro. So this is actually a good platform for companies uh, to post their job vacancies or looking for their uh, when they are looking for a candidate for their openings. All right. So there are also these advantages of social media. First one, it causes face-to-face interaction to feel disconnected. Yes, we are able to communicate with other people, with our family members and friends, even we're not seeing them or their faces. Yes, we also have video calls that we can use to see them. But as personal interaction or a personal interaction really helps in conveying and showing on how we really feel about them. And also some of us feel like there is a lack of emotional connection and authenticity of the feeling to those people that we are talking with. Also, or just an example, I believe you also experience hanging out with your friends, correct? But during that hangout, most of our friends is actually using or using their mobile phone. So what we feel about it, right? It's like we're talking to our mobile phones, like correct. So next one, it facilitates laziness. So instead of doing more important things, we are only focusing on our gadgets, on our laptops and mobile phones and tablets. So we are only using, for me, we are only using social media to ease our loneliness and boredom as an escape to reality. So uh, we're only using it like to ease our loneliness and boredom only. Okay. And the next one reduces family closeness. So since we are focusing on our gadgets and our in our social media accounts, we are actually unaware that our relationship with our family members are affected already. Some of us forget to do more important things like attending family gatherings or events or a simple dinner with them. So it really affects our relationship with our family members. And the last and most important disadvantage of social media is that it affects our mental health. So there are people who post everything about themselves, like how they feel and their opinions into a certain situation. So on social media, we didn't know that all people who see our post is not agreed on to them, correct? So in these situations, there are people experienced to be bullied or bashed. So uh, these people somehow feel stressed and depressed. That causes sometimes mental breakdown. So it already affects how we feel about ourselves, and we tend to hurt other people's feelings as well. So I believe that is how social media affects our mental health. All right. Why disconnecting to social media is important? I think this is very much important for specifically for students because they are actually students are the most um engaged to social media. Some of us has two or three accounts on social media. So why do we need to disconnect ourselves to social media? First, we need to disconnect to discover time. So it is actually better to not glued to your mobile phones and laptops and think of how much you spent uh, on these gadgets and always have time with yourself and your family, like going on a vacation or a simple lunch out is actually a good time or a good um, effect of disconnecting yourself to social media. Also, it reduces stress. So for students, it is better to rest after a long day of studying, doing projects, and requirements like school papers and thesis. It is always better to have time with yourself, like doing your hobbies, hang out with your friends, have some peace of mind, like doing exercises, taking a nap, or listening to music. So that is actually a good thing when you will be disconnecting yourself to social media. So for your mental health in social media, we are able to post that really amazed us and sometimes make us envy or jealous to other people. So what I can um, suggest to you guys is to stop scrolling and think of positive thoughts and never ever compare yourself to other people. So it you will be having a good and positive mental health. Um, Physical health. Also, it is advisable to do exercise to release your stress and depression and have a healthy living. All right, and also it is better if you will be doing some schedule and do not turn on your do not disturb on your phones, and uh, this is actually to avoid checking your device regularly and organize your activities and follow your schedule. So it will really helps you guys in doing your job and your activities. And start your day. Start your day in another way. In opening your eyes, guys. Every morning, avoid worrying things. Avoid handling or checking your gadgets, and have you my advice to you also is have your healthy and delicious breakfast at first, or have a sip of coffee before starting your day because it will actually uh, calms yourself, guys, to from stress. And most important, focus on important things only, and slowly disconnecting yourself to social media and start reconnecting to yourself, having good bonding with your friends and family members. Also, um, avoid checking your social media from time to time because it will really affect you guys, specifically your mental health. So I believe that's it.
Thank you for that, Sir Jeff. That was very valuable. You shared very valuable lessons na ako rin, sir, ay tinatry at kailangan ko rin baguhin. No? So, sir, for our students, please have questions for Sir Jeff. So, for now, sir, while I'm waiting for them to come up with their questions, I listed my own question answer. So, number one, sir, I feel like what you said about discovering time. So ako, sir, guilty talaga ako dito. Scroll ko lang, 2 hours, wala na, ubus na yung Saturday. Ayan. So, sir,
Yeah.
what can you suggest? What can you suggest? Because, sir, you said something about creating a schedule and sticking to it. So, these students, sir, mahaba yung araw nila, yung madami silang ginagawa. So, kasama pa doon, dadagdag pa doon yung minsan mag-check sila na Facebook, ganyan. So, what can you suggest for a good routine or a good schedule for them to maybe parang mag-reflect muna sila or ilagay nila yun sa board nila para pwede nila yung tignan once in a while tapos may-remind sila, ay, meron nga palang ganito, nga pala akong ganito, so hindi pala ako mag-Facebook. Parang gano'n, sir.
Yun nga, siguro, first yung sa discover time, tsaka yung make a schedule. Kasi ako personally, nung wala pang pandemic, so I love traveling kasi and doing outdoor activities. Siguro it's better to have your schedule ganun.
Sir
Even
Jeff,
yung
are you still
naman,
there?
yes, hello? Hello? Can you
Sir
hear
Jeff?
me? Hello?
Sir Jeff, are you still there?
Yes, Miss Shane, can you hear me?
Yan, sir. Andiyan na po.
Ayan. Sorry, ayan. So,
Sige, sir.
yung
Sir,
discover time. Sorry. Yeah. For discover time and make a schedule kasi it is better to siguro do things that is not on your regular routine. So if you're not an outdoor person or you don't like outdoor activities, better to try some outdoor activities. At least may bago sa routine na hindi lang puro Facebook or social media yung palagi nating ginagalaw or yung phone nakahiga lang tayo and phone na parang walang nangyayari na ang bilis ng araw. Kasi parang yung oras kasi natin nasasayang instead of using those times to important things, wala lang, higa lang tayo, 'di ba? So sayang talaga yung time kung puro social media lang yung atupagin natin.
Okay, sir. Thank you for that. How about sir consumption of content? What can you recommend na mga pwede nilang follow or pwede nilang i-explore na mga page or content creators kung saan i-influence sila para maging meaningful or valuable yung time nila sa social media?
Hmm. Yun nga, siguro sa social media, if example, if you're interested with art, siguro sa Facebook naman, mayroong mga Facebook pages na may mga artwork, 'di ba? So it's better kung yun yung mga kailangan nilang i-follow kasi first yung time nila sa social media hindi siya nasasayang na social media lang talaga. But at least yung interest mo nandun, nakikita mo yung hobbies mo, 'di
Yan
ba?
ang
Other
art.
learning and knowledge pa. Oo, correct.
ah, Okay, yan, sir. So, guys, if you're interested, so may mga sinabi si Sir Jeff na mga pwede kayong mag-follow ng content about art or maybe pwedeng music or maybe yung mga DIY, ganyan. So, those are good stepping points para hindi ang consumption natin hindi lang, uy, meron bagong ganito si ganyan, uy, meron ganito si ganyan. So, hindi tayo lagi nagko-compare. Ayan. So,
Yes.
sir, last question. Do you have openings for SHS or Inspiro and vacancies yung pwede po nilang pasukan or pwede po nilang applyan?
Yes, actually, we do have openings for senior high school graduates. We are also offering work from home setup with them. So as part of Inspiro's values, yung malasakit, uh, we are offering work from home setup as long as you have your own devices and internet connection. We'll be offering our work from home accounts.
Sige, sir. Okay. Okay. Guys, if you want to check out those accounts, dito nyo siya makikita. www.jobs180.com/zero. So if you want to explore the vacancies mentioned by Sir Jeff earlier, doon nyo siya makikita. Ayan, nasa ticker natin sa baba. That's where you put the link. Okay? So, Sir Jeff, do you have any other final words to our audience before
Yeah,
we present the certificate?
yes, so siguro yung advice ko lang ay limit lang nila yung use of social media because it really affects them lalo na sa mga estudyante na masyadong masyadong into social media na kung makikita natin we have friends na sobrang tutok sa social media kung sino-sino yung mga pina-follow tapos uh, makakakita ng mga negativities. Siguro hindi advisable na maging tutok tayo sa social media. Better kung magso-social media tayo, use it sa kung saan makakakuha tayo ng additional knowledge, ganon, or learnings. And yung mga
Alright, so
positive thoughts lang.
thank you again, Sir Jeff, for being here with us this morning. So, sir, we would like to thank you for joining us. May we present this certificate. So, sir, this certificate is from Arellano University, Manila Central Guidance Office. Certificate reads, this certificate of appreciation is presented to Mr. Jeff Asirot for his invaluable contribution as a speaker in the webinar titled Responsible Netizenship with the topic Disconnecting to Connect. Signed 15th of January 2021, Inspector by Regidor, EVP for Personal Services. So thank you again, Sir Jeff, for being with us this morning. And we hope that in the future we get to invite again our future talks for our future audiences. So thank you, Sir Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. Yan. So, guys, Again, if may tanong kayo, huwag kayong mahiyang mag-comment. Ayan. But again, this is a space for learning and respect. So before you put in your comments, make sure that it's relevant to our topic. It's relevant to our learning session this morning. Okay, so let's proceed to our second topic. So our second topic will be presented by Sir Richard Dominic Regidor. He is the talent acquisition team leader for Stellar. Sir Charlie strongly believed that as a talent acquisition team leader of Stellar Philippines for 4 years now, that he has spent most of his career processing job applications and hiring people. So this combined with his impeccable technical and observational skills, this has helped him identify the key behaviors one has to practice to leave a significant and positive impression in an interview, especially now in the new normal. Ayan. So, Sir Charlie, if you're there, please join our stream.
All right.
Good
Hi.
morning.
Hi, Sherry. Can you hear me? See me fine?
Ayan. Hi, sir. Ayan, sir. So, sir, if you've been seeing the comments, we have people over at Arellano University. They're all from senior high school, and they have more or less iba-iba sir naman yung strands. ABM, ICT, we have people from STEM, we have people from humanities. So, ganun po yung mix ng audience natin this morning. So, can we start sharing your screen, sir, so we can test if we can see it? Yan.
There we
All
go.
right. Ayan, sir. So, sir, if we have questions, we'll go in after 20 minutes. So, the floor is yours. And, yes, sir.
All right. Thanks very much, Sherry. So, hi, everyone. So, as what you may have heard earlier, my name is Richard Dominic Regidor, but you guys can call me Chardy. And I'm one of the team leaders at Stellar Philippines. And I'm here today in participation with Jobs180.com and Arellano University to talk to you a little bit about what it's like now, given that it's, the new normal. We're now in a time where everything is mostly virtual. And so job hunting is going to be a little different. And because the way we do things is a little different, we also need to observe a new set of guidelines. To be more specific, knowing how to properly conduct oneself online. So that's what I'd like to talk to you specifically about, how to conduct yourselves when applying for jobs in the new normal. Okay, so the COVID-19 pandemic has actually forced many companies to adapt their businesses to the new normal. So you may have noticed that, a lot of companies now have switched to different ways of doing what they do best. For us here at Stellar Philippines, for talent acquisition, this means that we are now switching to virtual means of finding new talent. So we now have opened digital avenues for you guys to use. And part of this is, of course, taking advantage of partners like Jobs180, where you can also send your applications or you can view our listings there as well through Jobs180. And because, things are being done differently, this also means that applicants, everybody involved, not just recruitment, but even the applicants themselves, they also need to adhere to and observe a new set of guidelines as a result of the changes that have happened. Okay, so that's what I want to share with you. I'm just going to share with you a quick, set of guidelines, essentially etiquette, virtual recruitment etiquette that, would be best observed given that we are now in the new normal. So among the many things that one needs to observe when it comes to online etiquette, especially during application, having the capacity to be online and conduct business online is perhaps the most important one on the list, because without a good internet connection or a device like a smartphone or a computer, it becomes very, very challenging to hold virtual interactions with other people. And so, if you think about it, applying online without being tech ready, without having your internet, without having a computer available, or without having the ability to participate in video calls, applying online without those things is very similar to going outside in the pandemic without wearing a face mask or a face shield. It just doesn't make sense. And it becomes very reflective of our behaviors, our attitudes, and our priorities in life. So if you've sent an application, and you're applying for work from home, but you don't have an internet, you don't have a computer, that speaks volumes about how willing we are to actually go through the recruitment process or go through the entire process, or even, it speaks of our behaviors when we will get a job. So make sure that if you are applying for a job, and especially if it's a work from home opportunity, make sure that you have the internet connection available, a stable one, a computer that is at least updated with the latest operating system. And of course, a web camera or even your phone that will allow you to conduct video calls. Now, another thing that you might want to bear in mind whenever you are, applying online as part of your virtual or online etiquette is to make sure that you are adding or filling in the correct information. So that's another important guideline that every one of us needs to remember when applying online. Make sure that correct information is being provided. So, for example, if you are filling out the job application form, or you're sending your job application through jobs180.com/StellarXM, make sure that you provide your legal name, your active phone number, and email address, just, as an example. Speaking from experience, I cannot count the number of times that we as recruiters have received applications where they are using their Facebook name that's creative, or it's just a reverse of their actual name. And for example, they've also used different characters, Chinese characters, but their name actually isn't supposed to be in Chinese. So we've received a lot of applications like that, and it makes it hard for us to get in touch with them. It makes it hard for us to acknowledge them or address them by their name. Additionally, we've also had some experiences where applicants send in incorrect or outdated information, like an old email address that they no longer check, or a phone number that is no longer working. So remember that when you are applying online, when you're sending in your application, companies will use the information that you are providing them. So if it's not accurate, they will have a very difficult time contacting you. And that could mean that for you, you could miss out on an opportunity that you are very much qualified for, right? So another thing that I also wanted to share is that apart from sending in the correct information, you also have to make sure that you are contactable or you are reachable during office hours. So it's perhaps a basic piece of advice when you are job hunting, especially online, but it's one that bears repeating. It's one that bears constant, that merits constant reminders. Why? Because if you're sending an application somewhere, expect that you are going to be contacted via phone call, via text message, or via email. And if it's through a phone call, expect that, the number that will show up on your phone will be unknown or unidentified. So it's a number that you are not familiar with, and just, make sure that, if you've sent an application, remember that at some point you're going to be called by an unknown number. So pick up that phone call. You never know, that could be the answer to your, that could be the recruiter processing your applications. And that application, that job might just be the answer to some of your problems or your questions, or that might help meet your, goals and aspirations in life, right? Another thing is that, recruiters nowadays will be constantly sending you emails. So check your inbox or configure your email so that emails from companies that you may not have interacted with in the past will not be automatically sent to your spam or junk folder. And lastly, especially when you are applying for a job and you're expecting to be called, try to do a vibe check, meaning that, you want to make sure that your phone is not on vibrate only mode. So make sure that there's a ringtone just in case you're a little further away from your phone. at least you can still hear that somebody is trying to call you, right? And in a sense, if we're constantly attached to our phone waiting for our delivery from Shopee or Lazada, I hope we can also bring that same energy when we are sending out applications, and so we can wait by our phone, or we can check and answer our phones promptly when we hear a ringtone or a phone call coming in. Next up, minimizing noise levels, and this is very applicable to the session or this the seminar that we're having right now. And noise levels isn't just about you participating in a voice call or in the video conference. It's even in comments in the comment section or in the chat features of spaces like these. As much as possible, we really want to make sure that everybody has an equal opportunity to gain something from experiences like this. And so spamming the comment section with unnecessary remarks or comments, or failing to turn off your microphone if you're not the one presenting, or if you don't have any questions or anything to share, you're just actually making it distracting for a lot of people who are participating in events like this to actually learn something or gain a lot of insight from what is being presented. And additionally, presenters or even hosts might even get distracted by the noise or the constant movement of the chat or comment section. Now, aside from that, aside from being tech ready, aside from making sure that we add correct information, being reachable, minimizing noise levels, we also want to make sure that when we are applying for a job and we receive assessments, that we answer these as promptly as possible. For example, here at Stellar Philippines, we send out emails, or we send out links to our applicants to have them answer some of our assessments as part of their recruitment process. And so we usually set deadlines, let's say about 24 hours max, an hour at the very least. So if we're not able to answer, our assessments in a very timely manner, chances are the application that you sent in, it's not going to be entertained anymore. We could get disqualified because we did not submit the response before the deadline. And additionally, being able to answer these types of tests and assessments as promptly as possible also speaks volumes of our ability to manage our time well. And if we can send in our response, or if we can submit our answers to the test in a timely manner, then it shows that we can manage our time, and that's going to give us an advantage over other applicants who may not be as prompt when sending in their responses. Another thing is to keep recruiters looped in. Remember that the application process is it's a two-way street. It doesn't involve just the recruiter sending you a lot of information, attending to you. It also means that you have to communicate with the recruiter or with the company that you are applying to, because we cannot monitor, companies cannot monitor you 100% of the time. And so it's important for you to also keep people updated on what you're doing. Let's say, for example, you are still answering the assessment, or you might have to reschedule an interview because you have something more urgent to attend to. So you have to notify the company, you have to notify a recruiter. You can text them, you can call them, you can email them. For us at Stellar, we also have a Facebook page where you can message us. So if you've sent an application and you need to maybe perhaps ask for a deadline extension, or maybe reschedule an interview that you were scheduled perhaps later this afternoon. So you can send us a message there to let us know that you'll need a little bit more time, so we can make the necessary accommodations to your application. And that way, that will prevent your application from being disqualified or being rescinded. Now, lastly, and this is also again going back to experiences or situations like this where we are having this this seminar, or this workshop, or this talk, being presentable when participating in a video conference or in events like this. And being presentable applies not just to your appearance, especially if you have your webcam on. It's not just about looking professional or looking presentable as if you were in front of somebody, or as if you were in an actual office setting. It's not just that. It's also about really how you conduct yourself when you are participating in a video conference. So from making sure that you're muting your microphone when you're not the one speaking, or making sure that you have your video on if it is necessary or if it is mandatory for that particular event. But also what you type, what you share in a video conference really reflects the whether we have observed online etiquette, or it also shows how much of a responsible netizen we are. So minimizing that noise levels, whether it's through an actual audio or through chat, that's definitely one of the things that we really would want to observe as part of being a respectable online netizen, and as part of virtual recruitment or online etiquette. So there you go. Those are the guidelines, that's the etiquette that I can share with you when it comes to job hunting in the new normal. And I'd also like to share that Stellar Philippines has job opportunities that are open to senior high school graduates, fresh graduates, and experienced members of the workforce. So you can check out our listing and send an application through www.jobs180.com/stellarxm. So I wish you guys all the best. Good luck. If you guys are sending in applications, I wish you good luck in there. And that's it for me today. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you for that, Sir Shardy. Sir, while I'm asking the audience to come up with their own questions, I listed down my own answer. Guys, if you have questions, please comment it. We'll read it. We'll flash it on the screen para ma-discuss natin yan. Alright? So first question, sir. What common mistakes or pet peeves do you have when communicating with an applicant or communicating with like this a seminar maybe? And what can you advise to not?
Right. Yeah, that's a very good question, Shari. So a lot of the negative experiences that we often have as recruiters when it comes to getting in touch with or processing applications is for just what I said, candidates not being reachable. We've had an experience where a candidate sent in their information, like their phone number, but when we tried calling it, it would not receive any calls. And so when we emailed that candidate, we found out that they had actually configured the settings on their mobile phone to not receive incoming calls. So for us, it didn't quite make sense, and it also was a reason for the delay in that candidate's application. So really, that's one of the things that I would really want to stress in this talk, is to make sure that the information that they provide is correct. And whenever they are applying for a role, they should expect that they will get some sort of communication or correspondence from people that they might not be familiar with, or from numbers that they might not recognize. So I can't also share the number of times that our calls have been declined simply because they don't know who the caller is. So they'll send in a text message like, "Who you?" or "Who's this, please?" That's a little bit more professional than "Who you?" So that's one of the things that I would want to really stress. If you can promptly answer messages or messages from your food delivery or from your online shopping, then why not promptly answer communication from your job application, right?
Thank you for that, sir. Next question, sir. How about when doing video calls? Um, what are their common mistakes? Right now, sir, when you're doing video calls with applicants, how do they conduct themselves? Like, lagi bang lag or may nakahiga ba? Or I think this also applies to students attending virtual classes.
Yeah. One of the common, I guess, like common no-nos when it comes to participating in events like this, or where you're actually in a video call with someone, is really that number one thing, making sure that your noise levels are at a minimum, especially when, because I can't really fault everybody. Not everyone will have the luxury of having a very, a very presentable space. And that's not something that we can fault them for. But what we can ask them to do, at the very least, is make sure that when they're participating in a call, whether it's a video call or a regular call, to minimize noise levels. So making sure that, if they know that they're going to be interviewed, if they know that they're going to be in an event like this, they have to notify other people in their area that they will be participating in such an event. So get them to minimize their noise levels. Or if they might need a more enclosed space, a more noise-free space, then make sure that they secure that. Because it's not going, sure, it is going to be distracting to whoever is presenting or whoever they will be interacting with. But more importantly, if they're the ones who are speaking, like it's an interview, whoever's talking to them might not be able to hear their responses clearly. And that's going to put them at a disadvantage. Yeah.
Okay. Last question, sir. Sorry, we just have a question, so we'll do this after. We'll do that from the audience later, sir. How about comments or interacting with Facebook groups or posts? Is it recommended to comment anything, or can you just like and just keep it that way?
Right. I think it's a lot. I think I want to kind of throw it back to what the welcome or the opening remarks was. I remembered that from that acronym, K meant being kind, right? So that's one of the, I think, one of the guidelines that we also have to observe. If it's not something that you would want to, if you think that it's not something that will be of a positive nature, then I would perhaps just recommend not commenting. Maybe perhaps just a like or a heart or another emoji would be fine. But again, because those comments are there forever, you can probably delete them, but somebody somewhere may have already taken a screenshot of that. And that can also come up when you're, applying for a job. That can come up when you're applying for a job. You perhaps made a comment about something or someone that was very derogatory or that was very negative, and that could even affect your chances of landing a good job because that showed up in the background check. So yeah, be very careful, especially with the fake news.
if the discourse is not contributing to what you said, just keep it to yourself. And let's just maintain a respectful, polite environment for everyone that we encounter in Facebook or in Instagram. Yeah. Sir, we have a question here from Robinson Kabuhat. Who is the one who gets the job easily? The experienced one or the freshman?
Oh, that's a very interesting question, and I like that. Thanks, Robinson. Based on my experience, looking for the right talent to fill some of our opportunities, I've found that it's not necessarily the experienced one who gets the job easily. And I wouldn't say the inverse either. It's really about who's able to conduct themselves properly and in a manner that allows them to showcase their best self during the recruitment process. So you could be someone who has like 10 years of experience in the field. Let's say you've been part of the BPO industry for 12 years. That's very experienced. But you've become so complacent, you've become so overconfident in your abilities that your approach in the recruitment process is not very desirable, or it's not one that showcases your best self. So compared to, let's say, a new fresh graduate who, because they want to get the job, and they really want to achieve their goals as a fresh grad, they were very presentable, they were very kind, courteous, and they really did showcase their best self, and they shared their best experiences, what they have to offer to the company. That would give that fresh grad a leg up in the competition. But that's also vice versa. If the fresh grad is really too nervous to even function properly during interviews or in the recruitment process, then the experienced one, who may be more calm and collected, will have an advantage in landing that job.
All right. So thank you for that, sir. So not necessarily yung may experience agad. So kung sino yung nag-perform ng mas maganda. Ayan.
That's
So
right.
I have another question from Jathina. What are the rules of netiquette? I think this means netizen etiquette. Is netiquette ingrained into a culture like social netiquette? I think, sir, she's asking about the comparison of being in social media but versus the conduct when we're doing it face to face.
That's probably one of the, that's probably what I'm getting at. That's the same thing that I'm getting as well from Jathina's question. But in essence, what are the rules of netiquette? I can really sum it down as to into a few words, like just making sure that you are, conducting yourself properly in the online space, in the digital environment, but also making sure that you're allowing not just yourself but others to be heard and seen in a respectful manner. And that really extends to not just netiquette as in etiquette in the digital space, or etiquette on the internet, but even how we conduct ourselves on social media, right? It's very easy to feel like we're free to say anything and do anything online, especially on social media, because we don't really get that personal confrontation if we say something bad about somebody. But I think that's one of the things that we need to remember. Just because there's a significant gap, or like there's a significant distance between whoever it is that we are maybe bashing, or that we are saying unsavory things about, that doesn't mean that there won't be any consequences in the long run. Again, just like what I mentioned before, a lot of companies nowadays, especially those top tier companies, they're doing background checks on you, not just on your previous companies, or not just on your educational background, like calling your school, but they're also checking your social media. And there's a lot that can be said about how one conducts themselves online on social media, and how they might conduct themselves in the workspace, or in the company, or what they might do if they feel like they're not really satisfied or happy while working for the company. So that's one of the things that we want to avoid nowadays, is just really kind of being trigger happy with comments, and knee-jerk reactions. So take some time to really evaluate if this is something that puts me in a respectable light, if this is something that puts others in a respectable light. So social media, I think, is really there to uplift other people, to uplift ourselves, uplift others. But it's so easy to get lost in the thousands of things that are happening there, that we tend to follow the flow and just jump and react negatively to.
Thank you for that reminder, sir. I think a lot of us needed that reminder, no? So We have another question here from Kevin Brell. What to do if you're not yet decided on what course that you will choose in college?
Ooh, okay. This one's a little, this is something that I think I have had some experience with, and it's really like no one. It's not a one size fits all. But what I can say is that I can share with you my experience instead, Kevin. Back when I just graduated from high school and I was still deciding what I would choose in college. I was torn between studying fine arts and studying psychology because both of them were fields that I was particularly interested in. And one of the things that I guess like really stuck with me was that I got advice from a friend where they said that to them, fine arts was really my passion, and they told me that if you pursue a degree in your passion and you get a job, you make a job out of it, you might end up not liking your passion, what you're passionate about anymore. Not that I wasn't passionate about psychology. No, that's not right. That's not true at all. But for me, art was something that fed my soul, but psychology was something that stimulated my mind. So I think that's one of the things that really stuck with me. If you want to choose a course that you want to pursue in college, find one that stimulates your mind. It's a question of whether you will prioritize something that will feed your soul, or that will excite you mentally, or that will challenge you mentally. So whether, if you're still on the fence about what you'll choose, Kevin, I hope that you'll find one that will suit either of those two criteria.
All right. I think we're done with the questions. So, guys, if you have more questions, send them in. But for now, sir, I would like to flash the certificate. So, ayan, we would like to thank Sir Jeffrey for joining us this morning. May we present the certificate from Arellano University Manila Central Guidance Office. It reads, "This certificate of appreciation is presented to Sir Jeffrey." Sir
That's
Richard Dominic for his invaluable contribution as a resource speaker in a webinar entitled Responsible Netizenship with the topic Online Etiquette. So this is signed January 15th of January 2021. Ms. Caridad Gregoriodica, AVP for Student Personal Services. So, sir, we will send a copy of this via email to you po.
no
Ayan.
worries.
So, thank you, sir. Um, Guys, if you want to check out vacancies that I sorry sir, can I ask you about the vacancies for senior high school? Maybe some of them would want to apply. What are possible positions po?
Yeah, sure, definitely. We have a lot of applications that are open to senior high school graduates. For one, we have right now hirings for an Australian energy account. And we're looking for customer service representatives to help us out with this particular opening. Apart from that, we've also got other opportunities like communication assistants. Those are people who are helping those who have hearing loss. That's one of the other job openings that we have that accept senior high school graduates. But for the most part, if they're not sure whether that opportunity will accept senior high school graduates, they can check out the listings that we have at www.jobs180.com/stellar exam. All of our opportunities that are currently available are listed there, and they can send in their applications there too.
Thank you for that, Sir Charlie. We hope to invite you again in our future sessions. So thank you, sir. Have a nice day. I think we got everything from the session for this morning. So thank you, Sir Charlie.
No worries. Thanks,
See you.
Sherry.
All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. So we hope that we were able to address all of your questions with regards social media use, posting. And so, guys, may I request everybody to please be respectful in the comment section, not just for this event, but for future events that you will be attending in. So, as mentioned by Sir Charlie earlier, lahat po ng nilalabas natin sa social media, that can go back to us. So, pag nag-apply na tayo ng trabaho, pwede silang mag-background check, kasama sa check ng mga HR yung postings sa Facebook or yung social media natin, Instagram, ganyan. So they can do a background check on it, and if they found something that they didn't like, it may defer your application. Okay? So let's be courteous to everybody. Let's be polite. Let's be respectful to everyone we encounter in social media. So thank you guys for tuning in. To officially close our session, may we invite Miss Donna Rose Matubang, RGC RPM for Senior High School Supervising Guidance Counselor, Arellano University, Legarda.
Okay. I would like to thank our guest speakers, Sir Jeffrey Asirot and Sir Richard Dominic Regidor, for being our guest speakers for today, who are experts on this field. One thing is certain. We know that adjusting to change can be challenging. A trip to do a weekly grocery shop seems like an adventure on its own. Before we know it, we've let go of our old normal and setting into what seems to be our new normal. I hope you have gained a lot of insights and learning which will be beneficial in your everyday encountering with life. We should stop complaining. Instead, say thank you and count all the wonderful blessings we have in this world. Smile, be happy, and embrace each moment with gratitude. And if you find it difficult to adjust to your new normal, it's never too early or too late to reach out for support. We're available here at the guidance office, so drop us a line or two by leaving a message in our FB page at Arellano University Guidance Office Main Campus. Again, thank you and God bless to all.
All right. So thank you, Miss Donna, for the closing remarks. So again, guys, if you have questions, if you want us to help you out, you can send us a message on our Facebook page. Or if it's something about school, if it's something about you're having trouble with your academics, you can reach out to your guidance counselors at your school. Okay. So please watch out for the next set of webinars that we will be hosting for the next few schools. So we will be hosting for Holy Angel University, we have Central Mindanao University, we have Santa Isabel College of Manila, LSGH. So if you guys want to check out the topics, it's posted on our Facebook page and you can join in any of those sessions. May we remind everybody to answer the evaluation form that's pinned on the comment section. So this will be for your attendance. I was advised that you have to submit it before 12 noon today. All right, so this secures your attendance. Okay, so please check our Facebook page for any other announcements or any other webinars that you are interested to attend to, and we hope to see you in the future. Okay, see you and have a great morning. So thank you and stay safe.